Massive Sam Roberts show. It's Monday. We're starting off the week strong. I got a good feeling about this week. Technically, in terms of content, we closed last week very, very strong. Technically, and I'm gonna put the blame for this on Paul primarily, we closed last week in a very, very weak fashion. Was not strong whatsoever. However, we're not going to let that get us down. No. Because we're starting off this week very, very strong. Very strong. Again, 866-969-1969. That's 866-969-1969 to call up the show. So much to get into today. Mike Cannon, one of my favorite comedians, is going to be in today. Natasha Lyonne, you know her from American Pie. You know her from Slums of Beverly Hills, but I'm a cheerleader. Now she's part of the new season of Orange is the New Black, which is back on Netflix. She's going to be on the show today. That's right. I'm not lining up a list of stuff that's going on this week. All this is happening today. Plus, so much to talk about. I got an update on the Anthony Cumia situation that we addressed last week. I did some broadcasting with him yesterday. Talk about the biggest movie in the world. Updates on all these stories. I want to talk about Dave Grohl. So much to get into. I guess we should start with some updates on where we left off last week. Again, you want to be a part of this thing, call up 866-969-1969. That's 866-969-1969. Or you can follow along on Twitter. We post pictures and videos of everything we talk about, as well as all the good-looking women that we have in studio, on Twitter at SRShowSXM. That's SRShowSXM on Twitter. So if you're not following us already, then go ahead and do so. I guess we should start with everything that's been going on in the life of Rachel Dolezal. You remember on Friday we talked about this. Rachel Dolezal is the white woman who was portraying a black woman. That's right. In Spokane, Washington, a white woman who was the president of that chapter or something like that, of the NAACP over there, which isn't a problem. You can be a white president of the NAACP. The only problem is when you tell everybody that you're black. Everybody, there's been so much going on. Last we heard, this story really just broke for the first time on Friday morning when a news reporter got their hands on Rachel Dolezal, and I believe this is the clip.
Is that your dad?
Yeah, that's my dad.
This man right here is your father? Right there?
You have a question about that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I was wondering if your dad really is an African-American man.
That's a very... I don't know what you're implying.
Are you African-American?
I don't understand.
What a great reporter. I love the fact that guy did not take her shit. I don't know what you're implying. Well, I'm implying exactly this. Are you black or not? Because you keep telling people you are. I love that guy, and I also love that if you were listening to the very beginning of the clip, he almost said Afro-American. He almost said something very offensive. He almost asked her, Are you Afro-American? Well, we don't say that, first of all, but he said African-American. I think that's what you're supposed to say in 2015. So this story was all over the place all weekend long. Everybody trying to get comments from this Rachel Dolezal. She was supposed to go and have an NAACP meeting today. Today was supposed to be the day. The NAACP said we're not ready to get rid of her. Today was supposed to be the day that she was going to have her first meeting and have to address this thing. That meeting has been postponed. She's decided to chill out on that for a little bit. She's not really ready to discuss just that. She said, is that breaking just now? Because now it's saying she's
11:45 this morning.
All right, so now she's saying that she might speak tonight. That's what that said, right? So it was supposed to be this morning or this afternoon. Now she's saying that she may speak tonight. She did one interview over the weekend that I could find, and I don't think she did herself any favors.
What would you say to those who are questioning your ethnicity?
Those who are questioning, or those who are just reading the article?
How could this still be a mystery to her that people are talking about this? How could she still be confused by these questions? It's become the biggest news story in the country. It's the reverse of everything that Caitlyn Jenner had to go through. Caitlyn Jenner was like, you know what? I know you've all thought of me as Bruce the man, but I'm Caitlin the woman. And everybody goes, yay. Rachel goes, I know you've all thought of me as Rachel the white woman, but now I'm Rachel the black woman. And everybody goes, no. You can't be doing that, because I would have done that years ago. Let's listen to the interview as she is still confused by these same questions.
What would you say to those who are questioning your ethnicity?
Those who are questioning, or those who are just reading the article? I mean, so the article, I feel like the article is what's questioning, and really it's Larry and Ruthann who are questioning. And so what I say to them is, I don't give two shits what you guys think, like you're so far done and out of my life.
The president of the NAACP, who
I could give two shits. If you guys don't think that I'm black, just because I have two white parents that are saying I'm not black, I could give two shits. I don't care what you think of me. I know who I am. Ma'am, I don't think you have any clue.
think is a black woman who says she's the victim of hate crimes might not be black. That seems like a misrepresentation.
I can understand that. I mean, like I said, it's more important for me to clarify that with the black community and with my executive board than it really is to explain it to a community that I quite frankly don't think, really understands the definitions of race and ethnicity.
She will not stop. I love that. I don't want to explain it to a culture of people that I don't think really understand diversity and the difference between ethnicities. She's blaming white people for the fact that she is pretending that she's not a white person. She's blaming white people for calling her out on her bullshit. It's not going to work. And white people are so happy about it because white people so often, every situation, it's like, oh no, we gotta be sensitive, White people found one person that they do not have to be sensitive around, and it's this big fat faker. It's this faker, and everybody's very excited. They're like, no. You don't get to play the race card. You've been playing the race card up there in Spokane for years. Now, you don't get to use it anymore. White people have been sitting there watching her jealously using that race card. Every white person that comes in this studio says, I wish, they say it privately, they say it off the mic, but they all wish that they too could play the race card. No white people can. White is not a race. It's the majority, I guess. It's the power structure. So white people don't get to play the race card. Obviously it's tempting. If transgendering your race were as easy as your gender, if you could be a trans ethnic person, I think most people would. Breaking news, the NAACP says, that's where the stinger. Breaking news, wait till you guys hear this. Rachel Dolezal, I'm getting this from Fox News' Twitter account. The NAACP says Rachel Dolezal has resigned. She's resigned. She's no longer part of the NAACP. Look, most of the time when people get bullied into resigning or, bully organizations into firing people, I'm against it. I think it happens way too much. People say one thing or they do one thing and all of a sudden everybody gets outraged and then you can't work where you were supposed to work anymore. However, this is one of those unique circumstances where this woman, by all accounts, appears to be a cuckoo loony bird. This woman appears to be somebody that probably should not be in any position of leadership. She's been pretending to be a black person for years. And all this stuff is coming at her. Family has turned their back on her. It's incredible. 866-969-1969 if you want to call in. We'll start with you, Lady Trucker. Welcome to Sam Roberts Show, where we had just found out, Lady Trucker, that Rachel Dolezal has resigned. The white woman pretending to be a black person has resigned from the NAACP. Go ahead, Lady Trucker.
Okay, I got a question about your hair.
My hair, not Rachel Dolezal's hair.
No, your hair.
Okay.
Is that a Jew fro or an afro you have on top of your head?
Well, I'm going to tell you something, Lady Trucker. There is no Jewish blood in me. And Mike Tyson, the world's most dangerous man, looked at me in the eyes while he firmly gripped my hand. He was shaking my hand, but he was squeezing the life out of it. And he looked at me, and you know what he called me, Lady Trucker?
What did he call you?
A black. He said, he looked at me and he said, "You're a black motherfucker." That's what he said. And I took that from that point on and said, you know what, Mike Tyson, yes, I am. All I can do is hope that my parents don't out me. Because right now I'm taking that and I'm running with it.
Well, you got to embrace your Thomas Jefferson heritage.
That's right. That's right. Thank you, Lady Trucker. And if you look, on Friday, I was just scrolling through my phone, and I found an old picture that I had taken of myself. I believe that the kids are calling that a selfie. I found an old picture, and I literally looked exactly like Rachel Dolezal. So I tweeted out side by side. It must have gotten 200 retweets or something like that, which is a lot for me. I do. My hair and Rachel Dolezal's hair appears to be the exact same, but if you look at previous photos of Rachel Dolezal, she's done a lot to get her hair to look a little more like primetime Sam Roberts. 866-969-1969. We go to Jason here on Sam Roberts Show. What's going on, Jason?
Hey, Sam, how can you be a black motherfucker when we all know you're a wombat?
Well, maybe I'll be a black wombat. You could do that.
Yeah, that's true. All I know is, I've been following this story from the beginning, is I just wonder how Akeem the African Dream would have handled the whole situation if people would have questioned his ethnicity.
Well, Akeem the African Dream had Slick by his side. If she had somebody like Slick by her side, this Rachel Dolezal, maybe everything would be okay. But instead of having Slick, she's got her parents that this morning were on the Today Show outing her again. This was Rachel Dolezal's parents. This is not an old interview. This happened this morning on the Today Show.
Why did you feel you needed to go public with it?
Well, we had never been asked to be involved. We had never been questioned before. But just short of a week ago, we were contacted.
I love that. Why did you never tell anybody that your daughter was pretending to be black? Nobody ever asked. If you'd asked, we'd have told you.
By the Coeur d'Alene Press. And I guess it was part of some investigative reporting that was being done. And somehow they got wind of us as her parents as a possibility. And so they contacted us to see if we were, in fact, her parents. And we taught our children, as we raised all 6 of them, tell the truth.
Always tell the truth, kids, even if it means throwing your family member directly under the bus. Isn't that the one thing? Yeah, of course, you're theoretically supposed to tell the truth, but also if your family's in trouble, you're supposed to have their back? No? Maybe not in Spokane. They continue on the Today Show. This morning, this is Rachel Dolezal, who we just found out is resigning from the NAACP. This is her parents again this morning.
What do you want to happen here? What do you hope the outcome is? And what would you say to her if you had a chance to speak to her?
Well, I'll comment on the first question. We still hold out hope that we'll be able to be reconciled someday.
And we hope that Rachel will get the help that she needs to deal with her identity issues. Of course, we love her, and we hope that she will come to a place where she knows and believes and speaks the truth.
Oh, my God. Now they're going on television and saying that she has identity issues. Does she have identity issues? Of course she does. But the last thing you want is for your parents to say it. That's supposed to be the one crew of people that are not going to go out and say you're a crazy person. Her brother, see, here's what I started to notice. Her parents adopted a black kid, and so she has a black brother. His name's Ezra, and Ezra went to visit her 3 years ago in Spokane, Washington, and that's when she told Ezra not to tell anybody that she wasn't black because she was starting a new life. Ezra immediately should have gone to the authorities. I mean, that's what we do in the family, right? We stay honest. But something happened to this woman growing up because she appears to be a nutcase. I can only imagine that the idea of being tolerant and learning about other cultures and all of that was so hammered into her head as a kid. She must have been raised with so much white guilt that she lost it. She lost it. And I started to assume that when I was like, okay, she's got a black brother. And I know you're like, well, what do you mean you have black? But no, her brother is black. Her brother's black. I would imagine that her parents must have given Ezra all the attention in the house, and this is the only way she knows how to reconcile that. Ezra got all the goodie bags, all the toys, all everything. And she's like, well, I can be Ezra too. I can lead up the NAACP, goddammit. And she did, but boy, has this blown up in her face. It's great to, I mean, it always happens. You see these people who, for whatever reason, become chronic liars. And that's the big difference. This isn't a woman who decided, well, I need to make a change of a personality. This is my true identity. I know I was born this way, but I identify myself as that way. This is a woman who's been lying. She's been tricking people the whole time. She's been hoodwinking everyone that she encounters. And this would be her getting her comeuppance. We go to Eddie. Eddie, welcome to Sam Roberts Show.
Sammy, how are you, Sam?
Good, pal.
Yeah, I was just wondering if you think she made it up in order to get ahead in the company, because if she was white, she knew she would never get ahead in that company.
I don't think that...
Because of affirmative action and kind of reverse racism.
Yeah, like...
if she was white, she will never get to that level.
The same way that if you look at my college applications, you'll be convinced that I'm part Cherokee.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, of course you do that, but I don't think that this is that. I don't think that this woman was that sort of aware of what she was doing at all. I think that she is one of these people who wants to be a victim. She wants to be able to complain. She sees an oppressed people that are saying we don't like the way we're being treated, and she wants to be them. She wants to be able to complain about the way she's being treated as well. And so I think she's lost it. She's created this other identity for herself where she can be sort of the more sympathetic person. I don't think it's as sort of well thought out and even villainous as like the movie Soul Man, where he just puts on blackface so he can get a scholarship. I don't think that's what she's doing.
Yeah, I thought, I was trying to give her an out, but I think, yeah, she's just crazy.
She is. I think she's nuts. I think she's created a whole new identity for herself. See you later, man. All right, talk to you later. We go to Jeff in Michigan. What's going on, Jeff?
Hey, Sam. From what I heard, that she got a full scholarship going to Howard University. So I wonder why her parents didn't say something back then.
Well, maybe. Well, how long ago is that? Has she been? I don't think she's been pretending to be black forever.
Well, Howard University, we don't know what her scholarship was based on, but
no.
It was a full scholarship, but Howard's a black university.
She was also teaching African American studies. She was a professor.
Yeah.
It's so weird and we talked about this. Thanks, Jeff. It's so weird when you think about, as a kid, you're looking at your teachers or your professors or whatever it is as if they deserve to be in a position of authority. And then as you get older, you realize that it's not anything like that. They're just people, and most of them are severely, severely flawed. Let's go to Gary in Cleveland. What's going on, Gary?
Hey, Sam, got a spy report for you.
Oh, boy, what's that?
Came across the wire that she just resigned from the NCAA, or whatever it's called.
You bet she did. You heard it here first. Rachel Dolezal resigns from the NAACP. It's probably the right move. I'm sure that she was forced out. I would love to have been in that meeting. Rachel, we've written a letter for you. We just need you to sign it, and this will be your letter of your resignation. Did you say recommendation? No, resignation. That was a slip of the tongue. I don't think I should be resigning, though. Why are you talking like that? I'm in the NAACP. Ain't you heard? Rachel, it's over. The jig is up. What'd you call me? No, that's not what we meant. We meant this whole thing. It's over. Everybody figured it out. Ain't nothing to figure out. That ain't my mama. All right, look, Rachel, you've never spoken like this before. She must have flipped the fuck out when they made her resign, because I'm sure that she was forced into this resignation. The other update I wanted to talk about, as far as the stories we were talking about last week, was this wonderful person.
Well, what I seen was that the police officer was merging towards the front, and the car gunned a lit right, and then the police officer kind of submerged and both of them interacted, and it was a full twist about, and the police car just twisted around like a tornado, girl, and the Lord just shook it up, and the man just got injured. And now the result is this police officer don't know if his life is going to continue to make it or he going to just tap out.
What did you see the officer do? Did you saw him?
Yes, ma'am. The police officer car fishtail. That's what happened. It fishtail, ma'am.
It was a full twist about, girl. A full twist about. This is, of course, I can't remember her name now. Courtney something or other, who Courtney Barnes, who we have a photo of up on SR Show SXM on Twitter. You remember her. She was the big viral star of last week. I would assume she identifies herself as a trans person. Green mohawk wig, very strange eye makeup. She looked like something out of the Road Warriors. A unibrow painted on with silver around it. It was incredible. This woman was incredible. And I took it upon myself to say, look, everywhere you go, Bruce Jenner is being heralded as a hero for becoming Caitlyn Jenner. He's getting an award. If anybody deserves an award, it's Courtney Barnes, because she's got to live this lifestyle in an area where it's not accepted. Where Caitlyn Jenner can get on the cover of Vanity Fair with Annie Leibovitz taking her photo and knows that Hollywood is going to be like, you're so courageous, this is amazing, everything that you've done you're such a shining pillar of everything that this community needs. Courtney Barnes, on the other hand, is jumping on local news, trying to get some kind of shine in terms of camera lenses, and you know where Courtney comes from. She's not even sort of accepted. She must have had her ass kicked so many times. That's why she's the hero for walking out in public looking like that. People are laughing at her everywhere she goes. She's talking about twistabouts, for God's sake. Just so she has to speak ridiculously just to get some of the attention off of the way she looks.
Well, what I seen was that the police officer was merging towards the front, and the car gunned a little right, and then the police officer kind of submerged and both of them interacted, and it was a full twist about, and the police...
I don't think that the car submerged. I think that may be a wrong use of the word. I don't think it went underwater per se. However, the update on this, since we talked about it last week, is that Courtney is fairly recognizable when she's on TV. Apparently a shoekeeper in Jackson, Mississippi saw this viral video, recognized Courtney Barnes, and realized it was somebody who had shoplifted from his store. They got all this, and they got this footage of Courtney on a security cam shoplifting, and she looks like Courtney. It's not green, it's blonde hair, but she's got the silver unibrow and everything. The police department said that Courtney faces contempt of court charges as he owes more than $1,000 in fines. This is what I'm talking about. Yeah, okay, so Courtney shoplifted a little bit. You mean to tell me that Caitlyn Jenner never did anything wrong in her or his entire life? Bruce Jenner killed somebody in his car. He backed into another car, and then he killed the driver. And instead of being like, well, you know, before we celebrate this man in a dress, we got to make sure that he's in court and and he gets his just due. No. We forgot about the fact that he killed somebody in a car by mistake, but he still did it. We forgot about the fact that he accidentally killed somebody in a car and said, look, he deserves an ESPY for putting that dress on. Whereas Courtney Barnes, and by the way, he is a courageous person for coming out as trans and for putting the dress on and everything. But if anybody deserves an award, it's this shoplifter Courtney. Now, we're making Courtney pay $1,000 that Courtney doesn't have. You see that wig? It's not an expensive wig. Courtney's got to pay $1,000 because she was just trying to steal whatever she was trying to steal from Jackson, Mississippi. And instead of getting an ESPY, she's getting a fine. Whereas Caitlyn Jenner is getting a magazine cover. It's ridiculous. It makes no sense. Makes no sense whatsoever. Let's go to Danny in New Jersey. What's up, Danny?
Shemmy!
What's up, pal?
Hey, man. Listen, that girl Courtney, guy, the big sharp fingernails there. She's been on the past 2 seasons of So You Think You Can Dance. You want to see a little bit more of that thing?
I do.
See if you can find it on YouTube, because he's a sight to see on that show.
I will. Thank you, Danny. And I think Courtney Barnes, if we're going to celebrate people, Courtney Barnes should be celebrated. Joey in Texas?
What's up, Sammy?
How you doing, pal?
I'm all right, bud. Hey, I was just thinking that dumb bitch that, has been pretending to be black and white. I can't ever say her name right, but she reminds me a lot of that stupid, fat, piece of crap bitch that they made the documentary about, the woman that wasn't there, that said she was a 9/11 survivor, and she made up this whole story.
I remember that one.
They finally called her out on her shit. This lady's the same exact way, man.
I think there is something, and it is a very crazy thing. Thanks, Joey. I can't relate to it whatsoever, but there is a thing. That's the difference. Like, I think when you're trans, like Caitlyn Jenner, or I guess like Courtney Barnes is, I don't know for sure, but when you're trans, that's the difference. You're trying to be your true self, who you always were, and you identify with the person that you have been, but you're like, this is who I want to be, and this is who I feel like. Not, I'm lying, I'm denying everything that I actually am. You're not making up a story and pretending like that's the way it's always been. If Bruce Jenner put on a dress and they said, Bruce, what are you doing? And he's like, I don't know who Bruce is. I'm like, Bruce, you won a decathlon. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. My name's Caitlyn. I've never been in any Olympics. I don't even like Wheaties, by the way. I'm just some lady. So I don't know why you guys are bothering me, but I'm going to go use the women's room, so I'll talk to you later. If that's what Caitlyn Jenner was doing, then it would be more like what Rachel Dolezal is doing. But it's not. Let's go to Sal on Long Island.
Sammy!
What's up, buddy?
Listen. Every time they mention this Courtney Barnes girl in a ad, whatever, the news, whatever, they're saying him. If they said that shit about Caitlyn Jenner, those news outlets would be crucified, because you can't call him. He's transitioning. That's a girl. That's a her.
Yeah, I don't know. For some reason, I guess it's because because Courtney speaks in full Ebonics and paints her face up like a fucking lunatic, that everybody just kind of is like, oh, look at this fucking joke with a green wig on TV. Whereas when Caitlyn Jenner does it, it's like, oh, look at this hero who's getting an award for sports.
Where's Al Sharpton? We need him.
Yeah, I don't know where Al Sharpton. Al Sharpton is actually trying to defend Rachel Dolezal and saying that her parents should not have thrown her under the bus like that. I don't know. I think Al Sharpton is spending probably more time with blueberry pie than he is actually paying attention to any stories. 866-969-1969. 866-969-1969 if you want to be part of Sam Roberts' show today. We go to Travis in San Diego. What's going on, Travis?
Hey, Sam.
How you doing?
Mr. Broadcaster, good to talk to you. I do love the new show.
Thanks.
Please shut the fuck up about Bruce or Caitlyn Jenner. Oh, my gosh. It's fine.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. It kind of caught me as extremely hypocritical that, like, we had to stop the presses when Caitlyn Jenner became a person and, realize this is the person that everybody in society should look up to. She's everybody's hero. She's incredible. And then when this, Courtney Barnes shows up on YouTube, everybody goes, look at the fucking freak show. Ha ha ha.
Yeah, Sam, your point is well taken.
Thanks, buddy.
But,
I appreciate it.
Let's move on.
You're right. We go to Jason in Colorado. What's going on, Jason?
Amy Brand, muffin.
That's right.
Hey, a couple of things. Courtney, she can't afford the $1,000 prize. She's trying to get a piece of a hamburger from Burger King.
Yeah, she's out there. If you look at the YouTube video, and we posted it on SR Show SXM on Twitter, she's trying to get a piece of a hamburger. She doesn't have the money for big old breast implants and a $70,000 face. She's trying to get a bite of lettuce and maybe a quarter of a patty,
Maybe lick on a pickle. You never know.
Like a pickle. Who knows? Just give her the juice.
All of it, baby.
Thanks, buddy. Let's go to Brian.
Hey, Sammy, how you doing, brother?
Good, pal.
Doing good. I just want to ask your opinion on the whole Caitlyn Jenner thing. I'm all about they calling her a woman and stuff like that, but technically, in my opinion, it's still a transgender guy with a penis. Like, once you cut that dick in half and make it to a vagina, wouldn't that technically make Caitlyn Jenner a woman?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I totally get what you're saying in the sense that we've figured out these things. But at this point, I feel like it's 2015 and we've given up on these structured labels. Like, no labels make any sense anymore. So just give it up and realize that just call people whatever they want to be called, as long as they're being honest. If this woman, Rachel Dolezal, was like, you know, I was born a white person, but now I identify myself as a black person, so I'd appreciate it if blah, 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 then either call her a black person or just leave her alone. You know, don't fucking talk to her. You know, if she's lying about it and trying to pretend that she's something she's not, that's a whole different thing. I think when Caitlyn Jenner, Bruce Jenner, whoever it is, comes out and says, look, I know, I'm the guy from Keeping Up with the Kardashians and the Wheaties box. I used to wear those tiny little shorts and run very fast and throw shit over other shit and jump high and do all that. That was me, but now I'm some chick named Caitlyn. Then, I mean, who does it hurt to be like, all right, you're Caitlyn, whatever. I'm going to move on with my life, I think.
Yeah, it doesn't really bother me. I was just thinking about it the other day. I just want to get your opinion on it.
Yeah, I think with a lot of this stuff, the longer you think about it, the more lost you get.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, buddy. I'll talk to you later. That's what. All right, buddy. That's why you just got to realize that, like, it's other people's life experiences. I don't understand. Like, people go, I don't understand being trans. I don't understand wanting to take your dick off. I don't understand that either. But I also don't understand wanting to blow a guy. But there are lots of gay people, and I don't mind it. Let them do what they want to do. Because I talked to Ross Matthews on this show not too long ago, and he was like talking about how gross it was going down on a girl. I don't think that's gross at all. So there's obviously just, as they say, different strokes for different folks. You live and let live, don't you? 866-969-1969. It's Sam Roberts Show. And Austin, you're on the air.
Sammy Brand Muffins. What's going on, buddy?
What's going on, pal?
So the point I have is, and it's probably an unpopular one, but I think that Rachel has a better point than Caitlyn/Bruce Jenner.
How's that?
Well, if you actually go into the makeup of the human genome, some of the things that we have with DNA mapping and things like that, you find that all people, in fact, probably have DNA from all races at some point in their background because of the traveling and the prehistoric man, things like that. So it would make more sense to be able to make the argument that you could identify as black because in some term you probably have that DNA in you.
Yeah, but the difference is that Rachel Dolezal was going around telling people literally, my dad's black, I'm half black. And then then it turned out that that's not true at all.
Right. I get that that's bullshit. My point is that, you know, even so, you know, she at least has some kind of marker there, whereas, you know, genetically and scientifically, they've been able to find no evidence whatsoever that transgender people have anything outside of their own mind. And I'm not even, you know, I'm not against that sort of thing. I don't care if you want to do it. I'm pretty libertarian about all things. But, you know, it's just a mental thing.
I think but I don't think you can
back that up.
I don't think you can like downplay it for being a mental thing because a mental thing is still a thing, and like the brain is a pretty powerful deal. Like we have terrible days for no reason. I've been mad at people for no reason whatsoever, just because my brain decides I'm angry. I think that the difference is that when your brain is telling you that you're a lady, or your brain is telling you that your gender does not match the gender that is on your birth certificate, and it tells you that for your whole life, and you start telling people, this is just how I feel, that's one thing. When one day you decide that you're going to get a perm and start announcing that you've been black forever, that's a whole other deal. That's you creating a new identity because you've lost it, not you kind of giving in to something that's always been in your brain.
No, I totally admit she's a shitbag. I mean, I don't put anything other than that out there. But I'm just saying at its base root. I mean, you even saw stuff that was put in. I think it was Huffington Post did an article like the minute that this happened. Basically, you know, right at the bat saying, okay, well, you can't, you know, liken this situation to the Caitlyn Jenner situation. My point is that, yeah, all right, if you're going to lie about your background, you're trying to do that sort of thing, then, yeah, you're a shitbag. However, who is to say that you can't therefore define what race is? Somehow,
I think it definitely. I think it is a thing where you can start opening up the conversation now, and just because of timing, just because of the weirdness of that, this was happening the same time the gender thing was happening, and it is. I think it's definitely a conversation that you can open up, but I don't think that these two cases are even close to the same thing.
You're correct, and I would say that she is most definitely not the torchbearer.
No.
That people who may have racial identity issues would want to use.
Right. But, if anything, it's me. I'm the guy who's the trans-ethnic role model. I think that's me. That's Sam Roberts. That's not this Rachel Dolezal. She's just a filthy liar.
You're absolutely correct, and I think you should be supported as such.
That's right.
So, all right, man. Well, have a good one, Sammy.
All right, buddy. I'll talk to you later. Bobby in Kentucky. What's going on?
Hey, Sam.
How you doing?
Just to clarify, because I know what I'm going to say is going to be against popular belief.
Policy?
Yeah. So you touched on it a little bit. There's no physical evidence, is what the previous caller was saying. And you said the mind is a powerful thing. So when you're mad someday, some people are just antisocial. Like that's an actual mental illness. They can't function in society, which is totally separate from being transgendered. But if it is all in the brain, and that is against normal brain pattern, wouldn't that be considered some sort of mental illness or?
No, I think that it's. There's a difference between, I don't think you can just say, okay, this is a normal brain, and this is how it's supposed to act, and if it's anything different, then it's mental illness. I think when it's negatively affecting your life, if you just want to be a woman, I don't think that's a negative thing. If you don't identify with the gender you were born with, I don't think that's a negative thing that's going to cause bad things to happen. I don't think that's anything functioning improperly. It's just a different deal. Let me go to Jake in Iowa.
Hey, Sammy, how are you this morning, brother?
Good, pal.
Hey, this Rachel Dolezal, I think we're also kind of skipping over the big point here. She pretended to be Al Jolson and put blackface on every single day. And not only that, she created and fabricated hate crimes on her own behalf to make it look like, to get the sympathy of the community.
Like, what's his name? Like that talk show host, Downey.
Oh, yeah.
Drew a backward swastika on his forehead, and they realized that it was Morton Downey Jr. when he was trying to get attention for himself. So he said he got jumped in an airport and he by white supremacists, and he came out of a bathroom all with his face all beaten up and a swastika on his forehead. But they realized he had punched himself in the face and done it himself because the swastika was backwards. He did it in a mirror. But yeah, I mean, I think you're right, Jake. Thanks, buddy. I think that's what people are not realizing is that this is a different deal. That this Rachel person is just a crazy person who created this identity that didn't exist. It's not. It's the gender thing is totally different. I got a lot to talk about today. Jurassic World is the biggest movie in the world history or whatever it is. I want to talk about John Stamos and everything that's going on with him. Before we get to any of that, Natasha Lyonne is coming in here. Orange is the New Black is back on Netflix. Orange is the New Black is probably the show that's kind of changed TV. I would think if you go back and look at the streaming revolution, Orange is the New Black is probably going to be the show. I think that's the first show that really caught on with people that, okay, I got to get Netflix because I got to see this show. House of Cards came after that. And then speaking of Transparent came after that for Amazon. But Orange is the New Black was the first show, I think, that made it seem like if you didn't have some kind of streaming deal, you were missing out. No, it was, it's huge. It's in season 3 now, just released on Friday. And right after the break, Natasha Lyonne, who you know from American Pie and Slums of Beverly Hills and all those two, will be here on Sam Roberts' show, so don't go anywhere.
Friends, we on the air now?
We are. Welcome back to Sam Roberts' show.
Thank you, sir.
Well, I was talking to the audience.
Oh, thank you.
But Welcome back.
I feel like I'm your audience one. No, I just thought you were
It's just
talking-
us, right?
I mean, it's us in here. Yeah.
Thank you for putting this show on for me.
You're welcome.
Yes. Welcome back, everybody at home or in their cars or on the internet or however
No,
you
I'm
listen.
just sitting here. I'm
Oh.
not in my car. I don't know what you're talking about. Clearly just sitting here. Anyway.
And welcome, Natasha Lyonne. Welcome back to you.
Thank you. How
are you?
Just trying to not get in a car accident. Doing fine.
It must be. Well, I would think at this point you understand how to perform without an audience directly in front of you.
You would think.
I would think that's all television and film is.
There's always people around.
Not like this.
Yeah.
Just cold and lonely in a radio studio.
But I do tons of stuff at home alone.
You do.
Tons.
You just perform for yourself?
I actually don't.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, I don't. I don't do a ton of dance routines or whatever.
No.
You know, to Princess Diamonds and Pearls. I've never done that. Not once in my life.
Why would you?
Why would I? What am I?
It wouldn't make any sense at this point.
Yeah.
You've got a whole career going on right now. You don't have to worry about Prince and the diamonds and the dancing and any of that stuff.
And yet
it still happens.
They keep obsessing about it. Can I get the routine down?
Yeah, you can do it.
It's hard because, I'm not like a natural dancer.
Really?
And so that's what makes, choreographing
You can't even say the word.
routine so tricky.
Yeah.
It occurs to me that, I don't think I say choreography maybe ever.
No. Well, you don't need to. You're an actress.
I don't think I use that word. I don't talk about dance much in general.
No. Well, you're a trained thespian. It's not.
Not trained.
You're not.
I'm untrained.
You never went to any acting school. But
Never.
at this point,
Not once in my life.
At this point, you've done enough
Dance. To know how to act.
Right.
Yes.
Because you act like a dancer.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
No, but I would think, at what point do you feel comfortable then as an actress, having never trained at all?
I like to think of myself as a young Carmen Miranda.
You think so? At what point?
At what point what?
Are I'm a good actress? Because I would assume when you first start, I guess you've been acting since you're a little kid, so it must feel natural on some level.
I don't think that, I think most professional actors.
Yes.
And unprofessional actors.
What's the difference?
But not sociopaths.
Right.
Feel like after doing any acting, shit, I fucked that up.
Mm-hmm.
I could have done that so much better.
Yeah.
I often will find myself after work walking the dog, and I realize I'm talking to myself because I'm like, that's what you should have done. And I hear the scene correctly all of a sudden. I think that is the experience for most people working, other than I think this other thing, which is very, like I'm saying, sociopathic of I'm the greatest. It's more of that's a messianic complex, I think.
Yeah, I was just having a conversation with somebody about that last night, that I've never had that thing. I almost look at people enviously who just walk into a place, they do something, usually not very well, and then they walk out thinking they're just the shit. Oh my God, I'm so great at this, and just the opportunities are going to keep rolling in for me because I don't understand it. I mean, and so I think that, don't get me wrong. I mean, I definitely have a measure of confidence. I have a lot of experience. Yeah. I can feel very natural. I think because, but I don't think that most people in the arts or in life in general, don't suffer from a measure of, self-doubt and kind of also, if you weren't wishing you were better all the time, there'd be really no point. If you were just I'm the greatest and nobody gets me. Right. It's kind of a shitty approach to life. Right. That's that. I feel like that's how Kanye West feels most of the time. Yeah, but I think it's working for him, so it's different. Yeah, I mean, he is kind of the greatest at what he's doing. Good for him. Yeah. I mean, although I feel I always say, congratulations to Kanye. You do. That's one of these catchphrases. It's one of my catchphrases. It's on the back of your trading cards. Yeah. That people don't realize. Topps chewing gum trading cards. That's right. And they all say, congrats to Kanye. So Orange is the New Black is back. Uh-huh. You must be at this point fucking dead tired of talking about the fact that it's the future of television. It's streaming. It's not on television. After 3 seasons, I would imagine, because I go back and I look through your interviews before you come in here. Thank you. I'm a professional broadcaster. You don't have to thank me for it. That's what people should be doing. You are a professional. Mm-hmm. Thank you. But it still seems like everywhere you go, it's like, so what's it like for this being sort of non-traditional? It's streaming.
Well, I would say the question that's actually most tedious to answer is just the one of like, so what happens this season? Any spoilers? Right. And it's like, how many sort of half-baked, like half-witty, dumb, silly, zany answers do you want for the same question, which is basically like, I can't fucking tell you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
contracted.
Like, it's not gonna happen. I'm not gonna like lose my job to give you some like, well, and here's what happens.
Yeah.
You're the one that I'm gonna finally tell everything to.
Right.
It just doesn't make sense. So I'm not sure why they have to, because then you have to come up with some sort of a like, well, the chicken takes over the prison.
Right.
And like you just feel instantly like covered in like slime of shame.
Yes.
Of like, did I just say the chicken takes over the prison?
And what am I doing trying to charm these people at this point?
It's a very dirty feeling. And
yeah.
So,
and it's never worked for anyone on any television show. I don't think anybody's ever gone into a TV or radio studio and answered the question, can you give us any spoilers with, yes, I can, here they are.
Yeah. You know who can do it, and it must be very fun for her to do it. Genji, I see, will do it sometimes because it's her show.
Right.
So she's like, I'm going to decide on this panel. I'm going to tell you a couple of new things.
Right.
And then you're like, God, that must be fun.
But they'll do it on a panel in front of fans.
Yeah.
Not on some weird show. And like you said, like nobody's going to sue or fire Genji.
That's what I'm saying. It's like yeah. Exactly. But as far as the streaming question, the only thing I would say that I feel sort of, I just feel bad, I think, because so now the show came out 6 hours early.
Mm-hmm.
That means everybody's going to be like done watching the show by the end of today.
Yeah.
And then they have to wait a year.
That's what happens to everybody.
And I
they
feel
watch
bad
the whole.
I know. Also, Netflix put us all on Twitter, right? And so.
What do you mean they put you all on Twitter?
Like, they were like, okay, you're on the show. Here's your Twitter.
Oh, so you didn't have a Twitter account before Netflix? No. They were like, you have to have a Twitter account.
Yeah, and I think that the way it got so, we all sort of tweet a lot, and I think that the reason why is because they started us with all these Ask Orange Q&As, which meant that we had to like respond to fans quickly, and like that was it sort of became our job early on. So I think we didn't even understand the concept. Like before, like within my first day on Twitter, I had like over 1,000 tweets. You know what I mean? Because it was like a series of Q&As all over the world. Anyway, so I do think it got us into, all of us are sort of like, you check out your notifications and whatever. And you're like refreshing. And, I'm compulsive by nature, so doing it all the time.
You still are.
And of course. And, anyway, the point is like now I'm going to have to engage in like a year of like, I had like 48 hours of like pure joy directed at me. I'm like, it's coming. Oh my God, I'm so excited. And now it's just going to be like a year of like, why?
When's it coming back?
Like, oh my God, I can't take it anymore. I'm going to kill myself.
Yeah.
Like, this is too painful. And just like tons of emojis of tears and like, skull faces and so many emojis are going to be coming my way.
Have they started yet at all?
Yes.
They have.
There's already.
People are already finished with this series.
People finish the show somehow within the first, 30 minutes.
And you're like, sip it like a fine wine. It's meant to be enjoyed.
I am, addictive. I get it. I relate to the people.
Yes,
okay?
you do.
But still, I'm just saying, I mean, there's consequences. There's always going to be hell to pay.
Right. You
want to
have
live
to know.
Hard.
You
want to fucking live hard. There's going to be hell to pay.
That's right. And it's good that now, your idea of living hard has become, I binge on television shows.
Yeah. These kids today, they're maniacs. They're maniacs.
They're crazy. There was a time when people could enjoy things and they could enjoy them in small doses.
Anymore.
No.
Not anymore.
No, it used to be Thursday is your tradition. You'd sit down, you'd watch a half an hour.
With the
You'd be fine with the family.
A nice show.
Right.
None of this fisting and titties everywhere.
All of a sudden you've got these females and they're fisting and they're in jumpsuits and
it's, here's the good news. You
Yeah,
can
tell me.
watch it again.
Yeah.
You can watch it another time.
Right. Could maybe a third time?
You can re-edit it into a different show and then watch that show.
Yeah. Was there any point when this show was coming out, because there's so many, obviously it's a female prison, there's going to be a lot of lesbian themes.
Mm-hmm.
Was there any point that you were wondering, okay, we got to figure out how middle America is going to respond to this?
I never, not once heard anybody say that sentence. And I mean, I'm aware that it is a sentence that
could be
can
said.
get said.
Yeah.
But I think that's what's great about Netflix. It's just not that kind of place at all. And like people that work there at this point, you know, I've known them for a long time. You know, like you meet them over the years a lot, and they're really very hip people work there. Like they're people that really want to make great things, that really like believe in making great things, and you really just don't hear any conversations about like fear or not being
who's just
popular.
going to piss off.
They're actually just trying to be as cutting edge as possible. Like they're trying to make things at their own IQ level of like, this is what we would want to see. And
that's great.
It's really, it's a great environment because you just never hear any of that.
Right. And is there a thought, like when they start a show like this 3 years ago?
Like you never hear also like, you know, lose weight, be prettier, be more likable. Like there's just none of the, like any of those ideas, which, you know, are not. I mean, they definitely exist in the industry.
Yeah.
But none of that lives at the show at all.
That's amazing.
It's incredible. It's an incredible way to work.
And was the purpose of the show like, oh my God, we got this script. It's so good. This show is going to be something that propels Netflix. Or is it really, truly, I don't know. This show just looks good and we're going to put it on.
I mean, I don't know the backstory of how it came to be, but I do think that it was like, you know, this thing is incredible and we're going to make the show.
Is Netflix making you guys all pretend to be friends? Because it's kind of revolting seeing everybody on this show seemingly all get along and playing off set. And I
mean, definitely like at this point, as is natural, I mean, we're like a cast of 70.
Yeah.
So I definitely think that there's, it's usually like, you know, people that get to work together more sort of naturally like gravitate towards hanging out together more, you know? So like in season 1, naturally, you know, I had a lot of stuff with Taylor specifically. So Taylor and I got pretty tight because, you know, we were like trying to figure out this new environment that we were in for, you know, 6 months. And, you know, pretty much every day we were at work together. Whereas like, you know, different people have different friendships based on who they work with, I think. And then it starts to kind of like, bleed out from there. Like, you know, Samira and I just became like very tight for reasons unknown to me, just like right in the first week.
Like of this season?
No, right in the first week of season 1.
Gotcha.
And we didn't have scenes together. So that was just sort of like.
Just click.
Yeah, it was just sort of, random. Like I felt very also, you know, big sister, little sister about it. Cause she's 28 and I'm 36, right? So in the first year it was like, she was like 25 or something. And I was like, you know, in my 30s. So I felt like.
Yeah, let me mentor you a little bit. Let me take you through this winding road.
I just thought Samira was I just thought she was so gifted. Her and Danielle that first season, like Tasty and Poussey. I was like, who the fuck are they? It was one of my first like wake up calls that the show was heavy duty.
Yeah.
And especially because after I saw them in action, I spoke to them in person and they were like completely different and they had like just graduated Juilliard last week.
Yeah, I've spoken to most of the cast by this point and it's like, what?
So, you know, I mean, I definitely think there's like, you know, but there is an overall feeling of that, you know, we're really, in support of each other. I think it's basically, you know, there's so many, one of a kind type people there that there's not a lot of built-in competition because we're all so random. Like we're all so, you know, unique, in very, different specific ways. And I think also, it means that, in our chosen profession, it hasn't always been easy for us. You know what I mean? Cause most of the people on that show are other. And, you know, I would include Taylor in that. Like, I know that Taylor like feels like, you know, this gorgeous traditional thing, but you know, she's a deep and complex person that really makes her own version of other, you know? And, so I think that we're all very like, feel very lucky that we're on this thing that's so great. And we feel very lucky that we kind of have a shot, you know, and that people are responding to it so well. So I think there's a general feeling of like appreciation for what we have, you know?
Well, even Taylor, when she comes in here, I don't know if it's the way Netflix has you guys conditioned to not be afraid and just to be human beings.
Yeah.
But like the people on your show, and I guess a lot of Netflix people in general, but specifically when the Orange is the New Black chicks come up here, it feels much more for me like I'm talking to a human being as opposed to somebody who's very protective and very making sure that they say the right thing and push you to the network and da-da-da-da-da.
Everything I say, so this is Sarah Planko, and, you know, we rehearse at home. Like today started at 6 a.m., so we've been up since 1 a.m. running through each interview. And
when you get to Sam, you start with the dance thing.
Yeah.
Start with
we
the
worked
dance
that
thing,
out in
warm
advance.
him up. Yeah.
And she was like, talk about Prince. Everybody loves Prince. And then she was like, it just in general. Then you throw in the word fisting towards the middle.
Right.
To keep it poppy.
Right. And he's got a lot of men listening. They're going to like, when you say fisting, it's really endearing. Yeah.
It really does. Last night they were like, what would Nikki Nichols bring to prison? And I was like, brass knuckles.
Mm-hmm.
And then Dash turned to me and she was like, for the fisting, right? And then that was fun.
It was.
Isn't that a nice story?
I love it.
So for all the gentlemen listening, I just want you to know that it's
there's brass knuckle fisting.
It's not just like, regular fisting, with my hand or whatever. It's like brass knuckles.
It's fisting with toys.
And then, and also one of those ninja stars. So it's ninja star.
Yeah, it's dangerous.
The star goes in first.
Before the fist?
Yeah, because that's how you make space. You want to cut a little space.
Gotcha.
In there.
Watch your knuckles though. That's what the brass knuckles are for.
Then the brass knuckles come in because you don't want it to get too sloppy on your actual hand.
Right, you protect your fingers.
So I like to put a latex glove on and then the brass knuckles over.
Right.
I use the throwing star to cut the space.
Mm-hmm.
I like it to be in a big star shape. Okay,
I see.
because I think it's aesthetically pleasing.
It is.
Then I have to wait for it to heal a little bit, but mostly I just throw a bunch of alcohol on there, rubbing alcohol.
Yeah, just pour it in, really.
And hydrogen peroxide. I like to pour a ton of hydrogen peroxide.
Keep it clean. Hygiene is important.
And then
when fisting with ninja stars.
Anyway, it's like I know what guys are into.
Yeah.
Okay, I know that it's like, I play gay on TV. I play gay all the time, but it's like I don't know what does it for the boys. I am, Right. I get around.
Well, that's obvious.
Thank you.
That's quite clear.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I would imagine that after everything you've been through, both professionally and personally, that now that you've come out of everything, all the horrible stories and the drugs and the this and the that most of this stuff can't faze you anymore. That I would think that you're able to look at things with a little more levity and be like, you know what, none of this is as serious as maybe the younger people might think it is.
Yeah, I mean, I do think it definitely has helped me to, I could in many ways care less, but then but I think a lot of that is also age. Mm-hmm. And it's less that I don't care, it's more that I think things are funny because I have perspective.
Right.
So things are sort of, it's ironic. That's surreal. I sort of take things more in that tone.
Kind of immediately back up and realize.
Yeah, I can immediately
see
sort of what's happening as opposed to why is this stuff happening to me?
Yeah.
I don't really see it as you get healthy and it's so much of it is about that as being oh my God, I'm not the center of the universe. That's 90% of getting, healthy especially from addiction is or just really any sort of behavioral problem is realizing that it's not actually a world that's, directed at me in any way. And, that things just are what they are, so if you don't get the job, let's say, it's not they don't like me. It's you're not right for it.
Right. And there's other jobs.
Different conversation, you know? But I would say I'm still, I can get, affected by things or just, I really, the two things that fuck me up the most in terms of mood swings are, logistics and inanimate objects. And
inanimate objects?
Yeah. Let's say these sunglasses, if I was trying to fucking, get out the door, because I have to be somewhere in 15 minutes.
Right.
And I can't find those fucking sunglasses.
Oh, you're pissed.
It's gonna be, a hellstorm.
The world is collapsing on top of you.
And it's just gonna be, this is when I start feeling bad, whenever I have a boyfriend, I feel very bad for them because it's why did you steal my fucking shoes?
Really?
Do you know what I mean? If I'm home alone, I will figure out a way to just put on another pair of shoes. You know what I mean? I'm I can't find them. I guess I'll get another pair. If I'm there's a man in the house, I'm you fucking prick. Where did you hide them?
And what are you doing with a pair of ladies' shoes anyway?
And you just needed fucking one? Oh, you just needed one fucking shoe? No, we're not going anywhere, are we? And so that's something that's been, or also if we're trying to make a plan and you're telling me in detail about your schedule and you're well, I could do 6 p.m. On the 14th, but actually on the 13th, I do have something at 2. And you're expecting me to play with you and I get very, I'm okay, you know what, let's just text message about, I gotta go.
Just tell me the time you'll be there, and that's the end of the conversation.
I can't deal. I can't.
I get that.
I can't process logistics, inanimate objects. And so I'm just saying, but my response to them, I would say, is outsized. It's not normal.
Over the top.
It's my brain can't stop obsessive thinking about them. Do you know what I mean?
Until you find them.
Yeah, like, the shoe could use a heel guard, not a front pad. And I pretty much am not even in the room. I'm just like, I should have gotten a heel guard.
Just sitting there thinking heel guard.
Should have gotten a heel guard.
Well, ladies and gentlemen.
Fascinating stuff, right?
I think so.
Could you believe? Could anything be more interesting?
If you don't already have Netflix, you should get it. You can see Natasha Lyonne fisting everything. It's all a part of season 3. Never not fisting. It's all a part of season 3 of Orange is the New Black, the fisting years. Make sure you check it out. You can binge watch it. You can watch it once a week. You can do whatever you want.
Once a month. And then you're right on time.
Right. And then by the time you're done, season 4 is happening, right?
Yeah. It's starting right away.
Okay. So there you go. Season 4. So watch it slowly and enjoy it. Thank you, Natasha Lyonne.
Thanks, Sam.
So much for being here.
See ya.
We'll be back with a lot more Sam Roberts Show immediately after this. Definitely check out Netflix and Orange is the New Black if you're not already. I really like that show. And we welcome Mike Cannon to the show.
Thanks for having me, buddy.
What's going on, Mike?
Oh, man, that song makes me feel like I got soul.
Yeah, it does, right?
Yeah, it'll bring the black out of the whitest person on earth.
Maybe that's what Rachel Dolezal was listening to. And she was like, wait a minute, I think maybe I could head up the NAACP.
You
didn't go through a wigger phase at all, did you?
Oh, you're goddamn right I did.
You did?
Yeah, I played college basketball. I was one of 2 white kids.
Did you shave your head so you could have the black eye buzz cut?
First, I had a shaved head. I had the Caesar with the lineup. Girls thought I was Puerto Rican. And then I grew it out and had cornrows because our basketball team had a resident Asian girl that had tiny, nimble fingers that was able to braid my white hair.
Was there anybody in your school or anybody in your social circle that was there for you enough to say, don't do that?
Every one of my friends. All of them. And I wouldn't hear it because I was like, listen, my parents just got a divorce. I'm allowed to try to find my goddamn identity.
Right, which you didn't realize it was there the whole time.
Yeah, and not to mention, this has always been a recurring thing with me. I identify very much with the black community. When I was 10 and learned about slavery and civil rights and that kind of stuff, I came home and told my mother that I was Martin Luther King Jr. reincarnated.
You did?
I did.
No wonder your parents got divorced.
Yeah.
That was the moment.
It's their fault for making me feel so self-important that was where I jumped to.
You honestly heard the story of Martin Luther King Jr. and decided that was you?
It's because I cried. I had an emotional reaction to it, and as in my heart, there was nothing that could sway my opinion. And honestly, that's offensive, right, to say that Martin Luther King Jr. potentially came back as a suburban, well-to-do white boy.
Right, as you.
Yeah.
As Mike Cannon.
But you gotta think that if karma is real, he kind of earned it. Right? Okay, that was a tough go you had last time. Here's an easier road.
No, now Martin Luther King Jr. has to deal with living as you and realizing how easy it could have been.
No, that's true, yeah.
Like, what? This is how the other half lives? Are you kidding me? His job, comedian, that's his job.
Yeah.
Like, he has to find things to fill his day.
Gets hired for everything I'm just completely not equipped to do.
So he has, a YouTube show, and it's about news as it pertains to marijuana.
Yeah.
And that's what he does.
That's where I took the new civil rights movement.
Yeah.
I'm a weed advocate, as, he was a
advocate for human beings.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Both equally important.
At what age did you realize that you were not
I still struggle with it, to be perfectly honest.
You do?
I still think there's a touch of me that is still so self-righteous that I'm like, you know what? Maybe.
Yeah. Stranger things have happened. It's like, no, they haven't. Not one stranger thing has ever happened.
Yeah, and when I went to New Orleans, I felt like I was originally from the South. Like I just had this weird feeling of comfort.
I think you just identify with whatever your surroundings are. If you hear a story about Martin Luther King Jr., you're like, oh yeah, that's me. If you're in New Orleans, that's what my little brother used to do when he was 5-6 years old.
Yeah.
Like, we lived in England for a little while. And so he just developed a British accent, like, hello.
Oh, he was a baby Madonna.
Yeah, and then, but my family was all from Kentucky, so we'd spend a week in Kentucky, and 2 days in, he's like, when are y'all having dinner?
I like him.
What are you talking like that for? That's not how you talk.
He assimilates. He knows how to get along.
Yes.
He's going to be president one day.
That's like you. Maybe you will be.
There you go. Also, I've had a lot of weird experience when I played AAU basketball, or actually my girlfriend now played back then. We were like 13 years old. I got quote unquote baptized black while in the bleachers with another basketball team.
What does that mean?
They just liked me so much that they did this weird ceremony where they were like pretending to peel off their skin and throw it at me, and they were just saying
that's true. That happened?
That really happened to me, yeah. And they were just telling me that they were baptizing me black. I don't know what that means, and if anybody wants to, get fired up about it, by all means, but it's just a real thing that happened.
The phone number to call is 866-969-1969. 866-969-1969 to talk to Mike Cannon here
Martin
on
Luther King Jr. That's what I would prefer to be called.
Here on Sam Roberts Show. I have never heard of anybody being baptized black.
Yeah, it happened. So I get this woman. I get her.
And so at that point, you get to decide that you're black?
No, I didn't get to decide. I was kind of raped into the culture.
Wow.
Yeah.
We were actually just having a conversation about television shows during the break, and we were talking about, because I don't watch Game of Thrones.
Yeah, me neither. I do stay up to date on the sex scenes, as I had told you.
I can't, for whatever reason, I can't bring myself, and other people have said I'm the same way, but this is different. I can't bring myself into that fantasy world. Like anything with swords.
Yeah, I'm the same.
Or dragons, or castles, or anything like that.
I mean, castles were a real thing, though, right?
I don't even want to hear, that's why I won't watch Downton Abbey. I assume there's some kind of castle. It just sounds very, very British.
You seem like an anti-corset kind of guy, too.
I don't like corsets.
Yeah, fuck them.
None of that stuff. It all seems like the Middle Ages.
Powdery faces.
So I won't watch it. I won't watch anything like that. I won't even watch 1883. None of that stuff. I won't watch 1776. None of that stuff. But I won't watch Game of Thrones.
No.
But
not even the nude scenes.
I mean, I'd watch the nude scenes. Why not?
Egotastic.com, dude. I do not work for them, but I will say they every week they have an update and a run through of all the nude scenes on TV. It's fantastic.
Really?
Yeah, like the chick last night that hasn't gotten naked yet showed full clam, and it was absolutely inspiring.
Well, I'd look at that.
Yeah.
Well, I just go to the website then. I don't have to watch the show.
No, absolutely. That's how I get over it.
Because everybody was talking about, I hope there's no spoilers for the finale of Game of Thrones. And I was like, what are you talking about? Wrestling was on last night. Who cares about Game of Thrones? I don't understand.
That would be hilarious.
There was 2 ladder matches last night. 2 ladder matches in one show.
Don't you dare spoil those because I have a DVR.
Okay. Good. But the reason I bring it up is because Paul, my producer, we ended up talking about Walking Dead. Because you're talking about characters dying, because apparently some characters died on Game of Thrones. Don't worry, don't turn the channel. I'm not going to spoil it because I don't know who the characters were.
Yeah, just don't pick up the New York Post either.
Right.
Because they have it on the front page.
It's not a spoiler, by the way, if it already happened.
Yeah.
But Paul goes, he's like, yeah, I bet they're going to kill Rick Grimes on The Walking Dead this season. And I was like, really? And he was like, no, that was Paul's joke.
It was a humdinger. I'll say that.
I was like, okay, Paul. And then he was like, yeah. Hey, remember when they raped his son Carl on that show? And I was like, what? Carl, the kid who walks around with the sheriff's hat on. He's like, yeah. I was like, Rick Grimes' son, Carl, the child actor. He's like, yeah. I was like, they raped him. He's like, yeah. I was like, I watch every episode of Walking Dead. They've never raped that kid. He's like, no, but they were about to. I was like, what are you talking about, Paul? And he was like, no. When they had the knife to his throat and they were trying to get Rick to come out, they were going to rape him. I was like, no, they were going to slit his throat. They were going to kill him. And he just goes, I thought they were going to rape him.
I love how Paul probably came before Rick came out, and then he just turned off the episode, so he had no idea what happened.
Yeah, sorry if I fucked that up for you, dude. They definitely weren't going to rape that kid, though. It's A&E. Like, I know they can get away with saying, like, shit and stuff like that. But AMC, you're right. It's AMC. They haven't done any child rape.
No, but is that the same one that the motorcycle Sons of Anarchy, is that on AMC as well?
No, that's on FX.
Because didn't they light some kid on fire or a baby or something like that?
No, they lit a girl on fire. Oh. They had her burned to death.
That seems very gratuitous.
I mean, you go to a 5 Seconds of Summer show and those kids are lighting themselves on fire.
Is that true?
Did you hear about this?
No.
5 Seconds of Summer is one of these boy bands. It's one of the boy bands who actually this one. It's a very bothersome boy band because they dress in like metal T-shirts, like rock T-shirts, you know.
Right. So they're all the bad boy.
Right, all of them, and they're acting like they're just rocking out, which they're not. But there was a big concert, and one of the kids lit himself up on fire.
Sure.
Like he was running through the pyro and stuff, which seems fully unnecessary.
Was it on purpose?
No.
Oh, so it was genetic.
No, he just ran through pyro, and all of a sudden the back of his head started smoking.
He just Michael Jacksoned himself?
Yeah, and there is no way. I don't care what kind of T-shirt you're wearing. There is no way to look if you're on fire. It can't happen. He started panicking immediately because the thing about,
would you be calm, cool, and collected if your hair was lit up in flames?
I would like to think I would handle it differently.
But your hair is your moneymaker, man. You can't. I feel like you would have a goddamn panic attack.
Maybe I would. Maybe I don't know for sure. But there's this thing where a person will see that you're on fire before you realize you're on fire. Like, before the heat hits you, you can physically see the back of somebody's head on fire. So this kid is running around the stage like whatever 5 Seconds of Summer sings. And you can see the back of his head is smoking. So you already start laughing, and then he realizes he's in a shitload of trouble and just starts like smacking his head and running around. He doesn't know how to handle it.
So he was in the boy band. He wasn't an audience member.
No, he was one of the guys.
I got it. So I love how they are like positioning themselves to be kind of street toughs with rock and roll shirts. And then this guy just threw in a hissy fit.
Yeah, and he's
at
like
the first sign of danger.
He's like, no, we're not like One Direction. We're way tougher.
We are cool under pressure.
Right, and then all of a sudden he realizes his head's on fire. Oh my god! I think they're Australian or something.
I wonder if he kept with the harmony.
I would hope so. I mean, they're just because they're on fire doesn't mean they're not professional.
Yeah, be a fucking gamer, dude. Dave Grohl played an entire show with a broken leg.
With a broken leg.
Yeah. Least you could do is douse out your goddamn fire and then keep the show moving.
I think the video is on TMZ. We're tweeting it out right now on SR Show SXM. If you haven't seen this kid, if you've ever wanted to see a boy band member light himself on fire, I recommend going over to the Twitter account. I don't see if anything's going to get you to that Twitter account. That should.
Yeah, that's got to be on everybody's bucket list, right? Everybody kind of wanted to see Chris Kirkpatrick on fire at one point.
Oh my God! Can you imagine if Lance Bass's head just started smoking?
Oh my God!
You're watching it. Oh yeah, the whole side of his face. I guess it didn't look like it looked like just the back of his head was kind of smoking. But there's a photo of him on Billboard's Twitter account. The whole side of his face is bandaged up.
He is the Harvey Dent of boy band now.
That's what he looks like. He's just given up on life.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so funny.
He's got a scorched quarter next to his hospital bed.
Let's go to John in Queens. What's going on, John?
Hey, Sam. How are you, buddy?
Good.
So getting back to the black baptism, I know exactly what they mean. What happens is a basketball team, the black players takes the white player into the locker room, takes the white guy, gets him on his knees, then they all pull down their shorts and have him blow all the guys on the team. And then when they bust a nut on the white guy's face, that's him being blessed, and now he's black.
So you took all that cum?
I left that part out. And what he is mistaken about is they didn't take me anywhere. I took them into the locker room. And it didn't just touch my spirit. The cum actually gave me melanin.
You know what? And you know why that is? Because you swallowed all of it.
Exactly.
Most of it, you just hit the skin. Now, that's why your soul...
Right. It got me from the inside out. I was like Rod Stewart with a belly full of cum.
Bill, you're on Sam Roberts' show.
Hey, Bill, how you doing?
No, my name's Sam.
Listen, that rape scene was definite in Walking Dead.
The kid.
Remember when they ran into those guys in the woods and then Rick bit the guy's throat out?
I thought you were talking about, is it the guys that confronted them in the church?
No.
Oh.
It was a scene where there were like these three guys that they ran into, and one guy was about to rape the kid.
He was definitely going to rape him.
It was a total rape scene. He never did it because Rick,
saved the day. How many seasons ago was this? How recent was it?
It was maybe 2 seasons ago.
I got to look this up because I've never had a look that feels more justified on a person's face.
Yeah.
I told you there was a kid raping that show.
I was just going to say that.
Best episode, best scene of The Walking Dead.
Best scene of The Walking Dead.
Best scene ever.
That is a hell of a claim.
Let's see. The Walking Dead's EP explains why they included Carl season 4 finale rape scene. For fans of The Walking Dead who aren't okay. There was indeed a rape scene in the season 4 finale. I stand corrected.
Now
Paul, you're batting 1,000.
Yeah.
No technical difficulties, and you've been 100% right about rape scenes in shows.
Where is the Jezebel article about that, though? Because a few weeks ago there was another big hubbub about Game of Thrones because some character got raped pretty violently, and it's like, well, this, and she was a female, but this kid
is Jezebel a children's website or a woman's website?
It is a woman's website. It's a feminism website, which actually should encompass all of us.
It should. It should, because it's not his story.
Exactly.
But, yeah, I mean, I think that's a very clear example of self-interest, of being like, yeah, we don't want women being raped should not be portrayed.
Yeah.
What about, like, Carl? No. He was almost raped. That's different.
And also, the episode before that, a guy's dick got cut off and, like, thrown in the dirt.
Oh.
No, we celebrated that here at the Jezebel offices.
No, it's about time they got a little comeuppance headed their way. Speaking of TV, did you hear about John Stamos?
Yeah, I did. DUI, huh?
DUI.
I would love to see Uncle Jesse shit-faced.
See, this was a very different DUI to me. So John Stamos, he's already thanking his fans for their support following his drunk driving arrest. This was Friday night. So Saturday morning, everybody found out that John Stamos got a DUI.
I have Google alerts, so I found out Friday night.
It woke you up.
Yeah.
Yeah, usually when somebody gets a DUI, I'm like, oh, their career's over.
Yeah.
Like, they've hit rock bottom, and this is it. When I heard John Stamos got a DUI, I was like, he must have just been fucking chicks and partying,
right?
And just decided to drive himself home. Like, there was no part of me that felt like, oh, poor John Stamos.
Yeah, he actually just like uplifted the image of DUIs just by being a part of it.
Yeah, I didn't know DUI could look so good. Did you see it? Has anybody seen his mugshot? I did not get to see it.
No, I don't think they've released it, but I guarantee his face is perfectly symmetrical and gorgeous.
Yeah, he just has one lock of hair sweeping down over his forehead.
Unbelievable 5 o'clock shadow. He's the only guy that could be blackout drunk and look perfect.
Perfect. He says, thanks to everyone for their love and support. I'm home and well, very appreciative of BHPD and Cedars for their care. Stamos was charged with DUI after Beverly Hills police responded to a call of a potential drunk driver. They took him to Cedars Sinai for a possible medical condition.
Jeez.
Where they found out he was definitely under the influence. It was that he was drunk. Is the problem.
That sounds like he was on some pills and shit too, because they were like, he was like incapacitated. Like he was incapable of functioning.
Still, even when you tell me that, because I didn't hear that, but even when you tell me that, I feel like he must have been having a great time.
A great time, and also impressive that he made it to his car. That's like some Wolf of Wall Street shit. If he is that incapacitated, how did he even get behind the wheel?
Somehow I managed to get home safe and just look out at the cars.
I feel like if he's that shit-faced, made it behind the wheel, actually made it onto a road, he should at least be given the chance to make it home.
That's the same way I feel about these, and I'll tell you about it. It's the same way I feel about the escaped prison people.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, if anybody can get their hands on some lewds, it'd be John Stamos, right?
He's got a lot of 80 party pills.
He just whips them out for very special occasions. This is the only one. This is the only DUI. The John Stamos DUI is the only DUI where I've really wanted to know the backstory.
Oh yeah,
like I want to know where he was coming from, who he was with, what he was doing. Because I'm telling you, whatever it was, he was having a great time. This is not a sad story.
Yeah. Was he singing Jesse and the Rippers songs?
He probably was.
It has to be, right?
He was probably just cursing out the Beach Boys, the Brian Wilson movie, for not mentioning that the Beach Boys were nothing with Brian fucking Wilson. They didn't get good till I jumped on the Skins.
Yeah, didn't he tour with them for a while?
Yeah, he played the drums.
And they left him out.
Well, I mean, he wasn't exactly the drummer for the Beach Boys during their glory years.
Those ungrateful pricks.
This was more of a movie about Brian Wilson and the fact that when the Beach Boys were considered genius, it was because of Brian Wilson's genius, not because he left, they made Kokomo and then hired John Stamos as their drummer.
You're goddamn right. Is that before or after Full House? Like, did he express his love on TV, and then they're like, maybe this could raise our profile?
If I'm not mistaken, it was during Full House. It was the peak of Full House. And John Stamos, which, by the way, tells you what a fucking party animal John Stamos is.
Yeah.
Most of these guys, because the Beach Boys were not cool when Full House was on. Especially, this is, like I said, it's not the Brian Wilson Beach Boys. It's not the respected Beach Boys.
Right.
It's the touring Kokomo.
Yeah.
Help me, Rhonda.
Our last hurrah.
Yeah. It wasn't Beach Boys that inspired Paul McCartney and John Lennon to create Sgt. Pepper's.
Yeah, it was just saggy tits and Hawaiian shirts.
Yes, it might as well have been Jimmy Buffett. Might as well. It was a bunch of parrot heads that were going to show up at some concert. So before Jimmy Buffett got there, the Beach Boys showed up. But that's what a party animal John Stamos is.
Yeah.
He loved the Beach Boys. He was on Full House, which was the biggest show of that time.
Must have been caking.
And so instead of trying to figure out, okay, what's the next smart move, he joined the Beach Boys. Like the dumbest band you could join. He was like, yeah, it'll be fucking fun.
He probably waived his fee.
Yeah.
He's like, you know what? I just want to be a part of this.
Don't worry about it, boys. Beach Boys. Just to say he's in it. Oh, it's so great. Let's go to Tom. What's going on, Tom, in Long Island?
What's up, Ralph? How you doing?
Good.
As far as looking at driving goes, it goes driving under the influence, and then DWI, which is the full DUI. If you get pulled over and you're going to get a DUI, if you tell them that you need to go to the hospital, they have to take you to the hospital, and they can't give you the breathalyzer until the doctor says it's all right.
So that's what he's doing. He's going. Thanks, buddy. Your phone sucks, but I appreciate the call. He's going to. I mean, that's why I was hanging up on him. I couldn't. Go to the hospital. He figured that maybe by the time he got to the hospital, he would have sobered up a little bit.
Yeah. Didn't realize he took the extended relief ludes.
Yeah. And that's why he got to the hospital, and they were like, he is certainly under the influence.
He is, and he's also already fucked a nurse.
Yeah. All right, I'll breathe into that, but you breathe into this, Betty.
Speaking to the mic.
Justin.
Sammy.
What's up, buddy?
Hey, what hospital did they take him to again?
Cedar Sinai.
Oh, my God. You said cyanide before, and I just wanted to choke your cute little neck.
I don't think I said cyanide, but...
I'm pretty sure you did.
Look, you probably heard it wrong, Justin. You understand it's a Sam Roberts show. There's no the, but there's an apostrophe because it's possessive. It's my show, and I'll tell you exactly what I said.
I
Mike
support
Cannon,
you. I support you.
You didn't hear Cedar's cyanide, did you?
No, there was no D.
Thank you.
Only the impressive one in your pants.
That's right. And if anybody else has a question about the D, I'll show it to him. Tony in Brooklyn.
Hey, Sammy, you there?
Yeah, Tony.
Yeah, this is how old I am. That actually, John Stamos was on a show called You Again with Jack Klugman.
Of course he was.
So that's all. Hey, one other question for you, buddy.
Hey, just want to notice you were on the subject and then mentioned Jack Klugman once. What's going on, Tony? What else?
Is there a no-tell motel in New Rock that you know of? I'm looking to do a little shady action up there in Westchester.
I don't know if there's any shady motels in New Rochelle, but there is one not too far from New Rochelle. It's like in Queens on the way to the airport.
What is New Rock? Or
New Rock City.
Or what is a no-tell hotel?
I'm assuming a no-tell motel is one of those shady motels.
Like hourly?
Yeah.
Oh, you know where they have one of those? Right on Rockaway Beach at like the 98th Street stop. I just passed it the other day. Apparently each room is done by a different artist in New York City. Mm-hmm. And yeah, hourly is available. So if you meet some sort of, giant wildebeest on the beach, you can get it done.
There you go, Tony.
It doesn't work because the Mamaroneck Hotel is no good for me. So I'm looking for something up in the New Rock area.
I love it. Local, baby. Keep it local. I'll talk to you later, pal.
Support small business.
Bye.
I wonder if Jack Klugman called to find out how John Stamos was doing in jail. Did he go to jail, or did the cops have been like, look, we're going to let you off on this one. I know you had to go all the way to Cedar Sinai and then get the breathalyzer done and everything, but...
I think that actually was Jack Klugman on the phone, and he just wanted to reinsert his name into pop culture.
I don't know if you're going to mention this, but before Full House, we're not doing John Stamos IMDb. We're talking about the fact that this weekend he got a DUI. All right, she's been on the phone for an hour and a half. It's not going to take long. Lady Di, you want to talk about John Stamos?
Yes, I do.
Okay, what's going on? You sexy woman.
Hi, Mr. Cannon. How you doing?
I'm fantastic, Lady Di. It's good to hear your voice.
Oh, thank you very much. Listen, John Stamos, mm-hmm. I always loved the guy. Mm-hmm. I loved him from Full House all the way until now.
Well, what do you think of the fact that he's fucking boozing it up, taking some pills, and getting behind the wheel?
All right, that's it. A DUI
right.
is driving under the influence.
Right.
A DWI is driving while intoxicated.
Right.
I've had one of those already.
Okay. Which one was it that you had?
The DWI one.
Oh, I see. And how'd that go for you?
8 months without a driver's license, you figure it out.
It's funny because with the name Lady Di, you feel like you'd be more careful behind the wheel.
You get that, Di?
I don't have anything to drive.
Okay, that one went over the old head, but no problemo. So what? So all right. So you got a DWI. What's the difference?
Driving while intoxicated means all you were doing was drinking.
That's it.
DUI means you had more than just drinks.
So what do you think of your hero, John Stamos, getting that DUI?
I love him.
Even though he's putting people's lives at risk by getting behind the wheel of a car, all fucked up like.
Sam, listen to me.
Okay.
All right. First of all, what he did was stupid.
True.
Him being, a real rich and famous person, if he knew that he could not drive, why couldn't he get a cab home or a limousine or something like that?
Or he could have called his ass an Uber.
There you go.
Yeah, whatever.
Or get one of the models he was fingering to drive him home.
That's true, Di. What about the models that he was fingering?
I don't know. Do you think he'd finger me?
I would be quite sure that he would not. Especially given the fact that you've only shown your age by being so culturally relevant, as if to say your two options are a taxi or a limousine.
I'd finger you, Lady Di.
You would do that, Mike?
Yeah, why not? She's got the voice of Caitlyn Jenner. She sounds hot.
I had a car. I would leave the car right where it is.
All right, Lady Di, I'm going to hang up on you now.
No, come on, Sam. I love you.
All right, well, then I'll put you on hold. You can listen to the rest of the show.
Sure.
Okay. All right. See, Mike, you make an agreement.
Yeah.
You get to a place where you're comfortable with each other.
She was very amiable to that.
Yes.
She's
okay.
like, all right. I know when you're being reasonable, Sam.
I'll agree to those terms. Chris in Atlanta. Chris, what's going on? Welcome to Sam Roberts Show.
Sam, great to talk to you.
Thanks.
Hey, you're driving me crazy. The guy earlier said you were saying cyanide, but you're saying cyanide, and it's Cedars Sinai.
Sinai.
Cedar Sinai.
Listen, it's whatever I say it is because it's Sam Roberts Show. Now it's Ed on Sam Roberts Show. What's going on, Ed?
Hey, guys. Hey, I think Diane's a little off on that. DWI and DUI. DUI is a lesser offense. I got the ticket 20 years ago for DWI because I was hammered. And they reduced it. If I went through the program, they reduced it to a DUI, which is a lesser offense. I think it has to do with alcohol level.
Interesting.
We're going to get our...
A lot of conflicting reports. What this really shows about your listenership is that everybody is drinking and driving.
Just totally fucked up listening to the show and driving down the road. So
More listeners than not have gotten into this issue.
Just don't kill each other because I need you all listening.
Yeah, or at least leave the radio running in your car.
Yeah, exactly. Listen, we got a lot to cover. I want to talk about, did you see Jurassic World?
I did not. I'm excited to see it.
Are you?
Yeah.
I saw it over the weekend.
How was it?
It was good.
Oh, Chris Pratt is fucking dreamy.
He is. He's a stud, dude. He is a stud and a hunk all combined into one. More with yours truly, Sam Roberts, and Mike Cannon when we come back. It is hard to justify that because you hear Joe Jackson being like, yeah, but listen to the music. Right. And it's just like, Joe, it's not proper defense. Mike Cannon is here on Sam Roberts Show. If you want to follow him on Twitter, he's a very, very funny comedian.
Yeah.
Follow him on Twitter at I am Mike Cannon. It's one of our regulars here on Sam Roberts Show.
That made me feel nice, thank you.
What did?
You calling me a regular.
Well, you've been here enough times, right?
You're goddamn right. But, I always feel like I don't belong.
I see.
I feel like I'm on an audition every time I'm here.
Even here?
I'm like, I gotta bring it.
Don't stop doing that, then.
No, I'll constantly be stressed out with some sort of ulcer.
Good. That's what I hope to bring to you. Ulcers. LeBron James. You see the press conference last night?
I did, yeah.
After he lost.
Yeah.
So what are the Cavs? They're down
3-2.
3-2.
Game 6 on Tuesday.
This is it then.
Yeah.
Potentially.
Well, and I'll tell you what, I mean, I guess that's tomorrow, but, this day of rest, I think will probably do them pretty well. He always shows up in Game 6. He's like, I mean, obviously he's showing up this entire series. He's averaging nearly a triple-double.
Yeah.
He's a fucking beast.
It's just amazing because I'm kind of the same school of thought that you are, where we come in and like, oh, I don't think I belong here. I gotta really try. And even when you leave, go like, I don't think that was very good.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder if I'll be asked back. I don't know. Like, after every show, I'm like, that wasn't a very good show. Like, no matter what happens on the show.
You're the Letterman of radio.
Yeah, we gotta do better than that. The only show I've ever been comfortable with is when we had Tommy Wiseau from The Room in studio. That one I know.
That was a good one.
That was a home run. Other than that, I've never had a good show. But
not even when you had those rappers, the Twin Towers.
I mean, the Twin Towers, they bring it every time. You talk about guests that know how to bring something to the table.
That's just a flash of magic each and every time.
But LeBron James, I think this must be just a thing with athletes. Has this confidence that is just incredible. Listen to his post-game press conference. This was after he lost a game in the championship series. All he's got to do, Cleveland, an entire city, has forgiven him. They were burning his jerseys in the street.
They sure were.
And now they've forgiven him and accepted. All he has to do is bring a ring to that city.
Yep.
And he's down 3-2. If he loses one more game,
they're done.
They're done for the season. And the Golden State Warriors, of all teams, the Warriors get the championship. Listen to LeBron after yesterday's game, last night's game.
LeBron, you seem to be playing a lot more comfortable this final series.
First of all, I hate that guy.
Yeah.
I hate lazy reporters. So many sports journalists, quote-unquote journalists, are just guys who like sports.
Yeah.
So they try to find a way to get press passes, and they call themselves a journalist.
Yeah. Public speaking wise, they're all terrible too.
Yes.
They know the question is theirs, and each and every one of them shakes and shits their pants every single time.
And they ask it in the longest way humanly possible.
Yeah, not succinct whatsoever.
No, and listen to why I stopped it.
LeBron, you seem to be playing a lot more comfortable this final series.
What journalist wouldn't understand that the word in that sentence is comfortably?
Right.
You're playing comfortably.
Yeah.
Why would you say you're playing comfortable?
I don't know.
LeBron, you write for a living?
He's also the only person who ever added a W to the word LeBron. LeBron.
Maybe he thought he was looking at his evil twin, LeBron. It's me, LeBron. Yeah, I would think that an athlete would look at this person and going, "This is that's the guy who writes about us."
Yeah,
he doesn't know the words comfortably. Blee.
In all fairness, LeBron barely has a high school diploma, so I'm not sure if he knows either.
Maybe he's more accepting of the sentence than I am.
LeBron, you seem to be playing a lot more comfortable this final series. There was a play, I think you had a behind-the-back layup where you went up, and then you're making crazy threes. Do you feel a lot less pressure this finals run?
That's the other thing. You're making crazy threes.
Yeah.
Like, just your real command of the English language, sir.
It's like a doctor saying your shit's fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man.
Exactly.
Use some sort of articulate language. You're on TV right now.
You're not exactly painting a picture for us.
Yeah.
Oh, crazy threes. Oh, okay.
Just because you are undermanned and you had some injuries as opposed to previous years?
Nah, I feel confident because I'm the best player in the world.
What?
Yeah.
That's simple.
But in regards to pressure with...
But that doesn't really answer my question.
Yeah.
He left... That LeBron James left losing that championship game saying, no, luckily for me, I'm still confident because I'm the best in the world.
Well, what do you have? He had 40, 14, and 11. He is the best player in the world. He's literally carrying an entire team on his back. Delala showed up for one game and he was fantastic and he got all this hype because he's white and people want to see that type of success. And then, but LeBron has been doing this the entire playoffs. They have nobody. There's nobody on his team.
But having the ability as an athlete to just look at the stats, be like, no, nobody's got better stats than me.
Right.
This makes me the best in the world. There's no reason to think I won't repeat this.
Yeah.
That's what makes successful athletes. Like, for me, if I was at all athletically inclined and I had any success, I would look at that going like, well, yeah, I mean, I guess I had some lucky nights, but I don't see how that's going to continue. It's so atypical to be that good. I don't think I'll be able to do it anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it's that sociopath mentality. Do you know what I mean? It's the reason why Tiger Woods is not that good anymore, because he got brought down a peg.
He became a human being.
There was a hole in his armor. I think we talked about that last week, but it's true. He became human, and, he lost that mindset. Kobe Bryant is the exact same type of sociopath, where it's like, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to do whatever it takes to get mine and win. Michael Jordan, same exact shit.
So that's because Michael Jordan always had, I guess they always kept him off TV.
Yes.
But they always made him friendly in commercials.
And then, he had a really good PR team that taught him how to field interview questions.
Right.
Because initially he was like the plunky, down south guy at North Carolina, and he was saying sweet things. And then you could, in the extended interviews, you kind of saw his reptilian eyes glaze over. And he just, became a killer.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's, if you hear the actual on-the-court stories of somebody like Michael Jordan, and I think LeBron is getting into that now, too, with a lot of the trash talk and shit.
Right.
Michael Jordan apparently was he got real personal with people in trash talk, taking them out of their
because
game.
he knows he's playing a mental game too.
Exactly. It's like how Kevin Garnett told Carmelo Anthony that his wife's pussy tastes like Honey Nut Cheerios. Who in their right mind would say that to another man, especially a 6'9" man weighing over 230 pounds?
And you're just throwing things at him because you're like, one of these is going to really sting. One of them's going to really hurt. And for some reason, that Honey Nut Cheerios thing, maybe it's because it's true.
Yeah.
He's like, how the fuck did you know that?
How did you know Lala's pussy stayed that nice?
I had to wonder, this, when you think you are the best, and then you realize you're not. Carmelo Anthony comes from a world where he was the best.
Yep.
He came out of college as the best player coming out of college, and then he entered the NBA, same year as LeBron, and he's not the best.
Nope. And even at that point, he was kind of second, but he was the second best of that crop.
Yeah.
And even then, but after that, Dwayne Wade came in the same class, did he?
I'm not 100%, but around that.
Yeah, and then Dwayne Wade won a chip before him.
Right.
And then, Carmelo just kept getting knocked down peg by peg.
So what does that do? Do you just satisfy yourself knowing that you're the third best?
Maybe, or he looks at his bank account and he's like, well, the best gets paid this much, so I think I'm still the best.
Wow.
If you live in a world of delusion, nobody can touch you. There are open mic comedians that I'm fucking jealous of because of their ability to block out negativity.
Because of the delusions.
Yeah, it's beautiful. They're like, killed it. After every set. That's got to be a nice thing to think, because even if I do well, if there was a fraction of a second that didn't go like I wanted it to, and I, bumbled over my fucking words or said comfortable when I should have said comfortably, I'm going to stew in that for the rest of the day, potentially week.
But they're all like Aziz's Randy character in Funny People. Yeah. That's how you kill it. That's how you kill it.
Exactly.
It's like you're not doing anything, dude. You're just shouting loudly.
Yep. And it's working.
So do you think it's better then to have that mentality? Because I get jealous of it too when I see people walk around like they're the shit.
Yeah.
Even in radio, when I watch people who are doing radio shows,
right?
And I'm like, oh, that show sucks.
Name, Sam. And they start a fucking feud.
And Mike Francesa. I'm talking to you again, Francesa. You hear me out there? You hear me on the fan or wherever you are? I know you do. Mike Francesa walks around like his shit don't stink. And let me tell you something. He takes the stinkiest shits of any man.
Oh, I guarantee
I've ever encountered.
Sheer size of his head that he just lays cable.
All he drinks is Diet Coke. You mean to tell me that doesn't do terrible things to your system? I'm talking to you, Mike Francesa. You walk out of that booth every day like you just laid gold, and it wasn't gold.
Not anymore, at least.
Not anymore.
Hasn't been for a while.
No, it hasn't.
I'm hopping on this feud bandwagon. I want my name out there.
That's right. And if you look at the clock, you could see Sam Roberts and Mike Francesa are in the middle of a radio war. We're on at the same time. Okay? Mike Francesa, I'm coming for you. You're not as good as you think you are. But that's what I'm saying. When I see somebody like Mike Francesa who has this sort of delusion, I almost get jealous. I'm sure he sleeps better at night.
Absolutely.
He's got a lot less stress in his life because he's like, I'm the man.
I would prefer to have that mindset, to be perfectly honest, because right now it's so uncomfortable.
Yeah, but you wouldn't be, you would know that you wouldn't know, I guess, because you wouldn't be as good. But you wouldn't realize that.
Exactly. That's like taking the, whatever pill in the Matrix, the ignorance is bliss pill.
Right.
Why the fuck not? So I would much rather that.
than have to deal with all this complicated shit. Like, no, this is reality.
Who the fuck wants the real world to be you plugged into a goo machine and, like, you know, then you're, like, traveling in tattered clothing and sometimes you get the fuck whenever a robot isn't, like, breathing down your neck?
No, that's true.
That's a shitty existence.
That's pride, though.
That is pride.
There's two. Yeah, I guess integrity is really overrated.
Yeah.
Like, who needs it?
No, I mean, I guess for whatever reason, I'm compelled to be, you know, to feel, continue to push myself as an artist.
Right.
I said that with the most giant quotes ever. But, you know, I just can't, I don't know, I can't hack it up.
Wouldn't it be great if you could walk in like LeBron walked in?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I was like, Mike,
just
you got
dick first.
You got a big, yeah, dick first.
Just confident alpha male.
That's the other thing. He's walking out saying that he's the best player there is.
Yeah.
He just showed his dick on TV 3 days ago. We were talking about it on Friday.
What'd you think of it? Was it the dick you had imagined LeBron would have?
I was hoping for more.
I'll tell you what, we don't know how much more it goes because that was only like the middle gap of the dick.
Oh, because we didn't see the head.
We didn't see the head. We didn't even really see the base.
It did seem skinny.
Yeah, it was a little skinny, but he's wearing compression shorts.
True.
You know what I mean? Like, I've worn those and mine looks like a child's pinky.
Now it looks like a child's thumb, which is nice.
Precisely.
But he comes out there. He's got his dick all over TV.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's making fun of him. He just lost a game. And somebody's like, you know, is your confidence shaken? Whatever it is. And LeBron goes like, no, I mean, I'm the best player in the league. Why would... Yeah. No, all I have is confidence. Like, I've put the work in.
Right.
And I'm better than everybody, so I'll be great.
You see the rubes I'm playing with right now. How could you possibly ask me if I'm not...
what I wouldn't do for that confidence.
I need it too. Ecstasy gives you that confidence.
Is that what that is?
Yeah. When I'm on ecstasy, I haven't done it in a long time, but when I used to do ecstasy, I would go to bars and murder it with women.
So he's all mollied up, maybe.
Potentially.
Maybe.
Or at least his body is just naturally pushing MDMA throughout his veins.
Well, Mike Cannon, do you have any place coming up where people can see you?
Yeah. Actually, tomorrow I run a bi-monthly show at the Stand in Gramercy called Illuminati Party.
So if you're bi, check it out.
Yeah, check it out tomorrow night at 10 p.m. Yeah, if you're bi.
Just a little play on words.
Oh, boy, that really threw me.
Yeah, so check that out. Check out The Weed News on YouTube. That's Mike's YouTube series.
Yeah, and Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole.
That's a podcast.
That's the podcast. We talk about this type of, corruption, consciousness expansion, that type of stuff. Oh, yeah. We're all about it.
Love it. Love it.
Flat Earth, actually, is the new one. We're getting into that.
What's flat Earth?
The Earth is flat. You didn't know?
Not.
Well, apparently it is.
I got to check out this podcast.
Yeah, that's what certain people believe.
I can't wait to check it out. Mike Cannon, always a pleasure having you. I am Mike Cannon on Twitter. You can follow our show, SR Show SXM, on Twitter to get a taste of everything we're talking about and everything that's going to be coming up tomorrow. Nicole Ryan's stopping by tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
Maybe DJ Who Kid. I don't know for sure. You never know for sure with him.
You never know.
We'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye, everybody.